DJ Kitley's Free Basses. Lesson 7. Diatonic Keys / Nashville System.
Alright, now that we got all of the scales and modes out of the way, and you should practice them before you move on, let's be honest. Something like that doesn't just stick right away. You have to practice it. There's 7. It would make sense to me if you practiced one for a week and only played in one for an entire week, or even longer until you didn't have to think about it. You could just play it. But with the knowledge that you gained in those videos, we can now talk about diatonic keys, or the Nashville system as it's called. As you build chords out of the scales and out of the modes, you can build chords, right? The 1, the 3, and the 5 would be a very common. The first note, the third note, and the fifth note in the scale. That is how you build chords. Maybe the 7th note. Sometimes you add the 9th note if you want to get crazy. As a bass player, you have the liberty to get crazy because you're not playing filler stuff. You don't have to. You know, you can play the root and then maybe the 11th. Maybe you want to play the 9th. I don't know. It's up to you. But with these diatonic keys, I'm going to post here somewhere what it is. And basically what it says is if you start in major, if you start in Ionian, you start in major, the first note, if you build a chord off of that, the root note in major, it will be a major chord. All right, it will be a 1 major third 5. The second note will be a minor chord. It will be 1 minor third, which means flat third. So it would be a whole step and a half step versus 2 whole steps to get to that interval. So 1 minor third and then 5. The 3 would also be minor. It would be 1 minor third 5. The 4 would be major. It would be 1 major third and 5. The 5 chord is awesome because it is what is called a dominant chord, which is 1 major third 5, and then if we add the 7th, it is a minor 7th over a major chord. I can demonstrate it with removing the 5. It sounds like this. It sounds sweet. It is a very wonderful chord, and you can use it to open so many doors in a song, all right? We'll touch on that later. But the 5 chord, the dominant chord, it is powerful. 1 major third, 5 minor 7th, okay? Now, we move from the 5 to the 6, which is it's a minor chord, but it's also the minor scale, okay? Like the actual minor scale. It's Aeolian. It's the actual minor scale. So you have the 1, the minor third, and the 5 on the 6. You then move to the 7, the 7th note of the major scale. If you were to build a chord off of that, it would be a diminished chord. Now what that means is you have the 1 in the minor third, just like all of the other ones, but then you also flat the 5. That sounds super crazy and disjointed, which is why I was making the point about Locrian being so bizarre. Is because like the tonic in that would be something like that. Like, that's just wild, okay? So, what you can do with these diatonic keys, though, is if you start looking, you'll hear chord patterns used all over music. For example, a 2-5-1. You hear that all the time. A 2-5-1, that is a jazz standard. A 1-4-5, that is a blues standard. A 2-6-5-1, that is a country music standard. Okay? So, familiarize yourself with these diatonic keys, also known as the Nashville system to some people. It is very important that you know this as a bass player, because then someone can hand you a chord chart and you can look at it and say, oh, this is just a bunch of 2-5-1s. Okay, I'm going to walk all over this and it's going to be easy. So easy. You know what I mean? You can do this. I believe in you. Take care.
Hey, you just watched a clip from Jake Kitley's Freebasing. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. I do give personal lessons through my Patreon at a very limited seating, and you can get your very own Morel Compass shirt today. Information will be posted below. If you like the video, as always, comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Spread love in the world. We need a lot more of that. Take care.